Hello, I'm Jeff Bloodrain and welcome back to Interactive Horror Stories. So, the first episode, we did the first half of Doll, and the second episode, we did the later half of Doll and After Funeral. Now we're going to do Crystal Skull. You are a king who is loved by his people. You have a serious problem, though. Your only child, Juliana, has an incurable disease, and she is dying. You hear about a crystal skull which can cure illness and let people have visions. It is brought to your place from the continent of America. But your man warns you that the skull might be cursed. Will the crystal skull bring health or to the princess or doom? Crystal skull. Alright, being a king is hard. Being a good king is even harder. You know this well as the sole ruler of a European kingdom in the age when America is discovered. It's been 25 years since you ascended the throne. Your subjects are content with your rule. Your country is in peace and the people are wealthy. But there's something wrong with your life. Your daughter Juliana is ill. She's only 18 years old. And she has gotten an illness that nobody could cure yet. That would probably suck back those times, not having the medicine we have today. Princess is dying, and she is your only child and their heir to the throne. Every doctor you could find tried to cure her. You have tried almost everything, almost. You have been informed about a miraculous artifact, unearthed in the continent of America. It's a human skull made of crystal. It amazes the scholars because no method is known to carve up such an excellent shape of a skull out of crystal. This skull doesn't belong to the world that you know, but to an ancient civilization that has been lost. But what amazes the scholars is not just the impossible creation. The skull is told to bring miracles to whom touches it with their bare hands. Some people tell that they saw visions from the future. Some tell that they saw how the human race has originated, and some tell that the skull can cure their illnesses. Those couldn't be cured with the medication available to your heir. Told you. Naturally, you order your best men to bring the miraculous skull to the palace. It's midnight now. You are in Juliana's chambers. She's lying in her bed, holding your hand as you sit by her side. That's sad. No candles are lit inside. Because back then, you had to light candles. They didn't have electricity back then. Full moon enlightens the princess's chamber, shining on her long blonde hair and blue eyes. She is too weak, her skin is pale. She has under eye bags showing her illness. You already suffered the loss of your wife 10 years ago. Now you can't stand seeing your only daughter slowly die. God, that's... Okay, Juliana asks with a soft voice, Father, am I going to die? I won't allow it. Eventually, yes. Well, that's a little, yeah, let's go this one. She smiles. I know, Father, you are a mighty king. I know that you will do the best by your subjects and me. Come in. The door of the chamber is knocked on. The servants gently don't disturb the royal family members at night, so it must be something important. Come in. A brunette boy, one of your servants, gets inside of the chamber with politeness. He looks at you and says, Your Majesty, the artifact has been brought. You had been waiting for this moment for a long time. Go to the artifact, kiss Julia's forehead, I will come back. After you kiss Julia's forehead and say, I will come back, she brings your hand to her pale lips and kiss it. Then you leave Julia alone in her chamber. At the exit of Julia's chamber, you see Sir William, one of the knights those were appointed with the task of bringing the ancient skull. He is a strong man with black hair and a round beard. I almost said round nose. He wears gloves and holds a bag. Your Majesty, he says, and kneels before you. Signal him to stand up. Let's go to my study chamber. So William follows you as you walk to your study chamber. The chamber is well lit with silver candelabras. All the furniture are classy. It is a king's study room after all. There is only one chair. It is for you. You sit on it. Sir William stands by you and slowly pulls the artifact from his bag. You push the books on the study desk to open space for the artifact. Here it is, he says. Here it is, he says, and gently puts the crystal skull on the study desk. The skull is truly a masterpiece. If it is crafted by humans, all the details of a human skull are imprinted with care. This seems like a crystal skull seems like something you'd get from like another planet or something. On all the details of a human skull are imprinted with care on raw crystal. Lights coming from the candles are refracted inside the crystal, gaining various colors of a rainbow. It's magnificent, but you sense something sinister, something that doesn't belong to our world. Touch the skull? Why would we do that? Did you knights touch the skull? Yes, we did touch the skull with our bare hands, and we all had visions. We took glances from our futures. Some of us saw how they will die. That's disturbing. Some of us saw our grandchildren. He continues, but maybe we shouldn't have touched the skull. Yeah, you think? The day we were able to leave, a native man came to us. He looked like the chief of his tribe. He knew little of our language, but shouted some words that we could understand. Cursed, no touch. So we haven't touched the skull with our bare hands again. I know that our princess needs to find a cure. I also know that we received reliable information about the magical powers of this skull when it comes to incurable diseases. But Your Majesty, I have got a very bad feeling about this skull. I believe that the wise decision is to throw this skull to the sea. I can't let Julia die. She will touch the skull. I trust your insight. Let's go. See what happens. The knight sighs. As you wish, Your Majesty. But if you are going to bring the skull to her, I wish you would wear gloves. Touch it with bare hands. Wear gloves. Safety first. You look for gloves around the study chamber. Sir William pulls his own gloves off. I think you wish Julia to touch the skull as soon as possible. Let's not wait for servants to find your gloves. He says and gives you them. You wear the gloves and hold the crystal skull with your covered hands. Let me bring the skull to Julia. You thank Sir William for his services and let him go. You carry the skull to Julia's chamber. You enter her chamber and see that she hasn't slept yet. She rises up and sits on her bed. She looks at the skull in awe. It looks marvelous and scary, she says. You approach Julia and let her touch the skull. And bad things happen. As Julia touches the skull, she closes her eyes and doesn't react to anything in external world. You understand that she is having a vision. After 10 seconds, she opens her eyes with a gasp. I saw things. I don't know how to describe them. They were pitch black creatures. So ugly. Their eyes, they were red as flames and they all stared at me. She starts to cry. Please keep this thing away from me. Please. And I want to be alone. So you decide to keep the skull in your study and let your daughter sleep. After this tiring day, you go to your chamber. There are no guards at the door. You just trust everyone in the palace. You are a loved king. The furniture are luxurious in this chamber too. You take a glance at your reflection in the mirror. Examine yourself asleep. Yeah, let's examine ourselves. You take pride in how you look. You are a middle-aged man, but you still look as handsome as you were young. Your looks are an important factor that makes you a charismatic leader. Besides being fair and wise. Alright, now we sleep. You wear your nightgown and get in your bed. It is a bed for 2 people, but you haven't slept with anyone since your wife passed away. That's this awkwardly weird phrasing. You have a secret that you kept from everyone. Sometimes you hug the second pillow in your bed as if it was someone you love. That's even more awkward. You do this since your childhood. Nobody needs to know. Well, the audience watching this now does. It doesn't take long for you to fall asleep. Father, you wake up to Julia's voice. She gently holds your shoulder. You look at her. She has a happy smile on her face. Her skin is not pale, but saturated with life. She no longer has bags under her eyes. I feel wonderful. She takes a few steps back and starts dancing. You laugh with happiness and stand up and hug her. Juliana walks in the corridors of the palace, dancing and laughing. You and the people of the palace are very happy to see her this way. She used to be like a ghost before. You plan a feast and invite all the lords of the kingdom. A few days later, every lord arrives to the capital city to celebrate the health of the princess. Yeah, I wouldn't celebrate too much because something may have happened. At the feast, Julia is the center of everyone's attention. She talks with everyone joyfully, makes jokes, makes people laugh. When the feast is over and it's midnight, everyone goes to the chamber reserved for them. You accompany Juliana to her chamber. You put a kiss on her forehead before letting her sleep. Then you go to your own chamber and fall asleep in peace. God, that scared me. You wake up to the sound of knocking on your chamber's door. It's still night. You wonder who dared to wake you up at this hour. Open the door, or ignore. Well, we're going to see who it is. The same brunette boy who had informed you about the arrival of the skull. Your Majesty, I am deeply sorry for disturbing you at this hour, but there is something wrong. There are laughing sounds coming from the princess's chamber. It's her voice, but it doesn't sound normal. Let me check it. I am sure it's nothing important. Yeah, we're checking it as a concerned dad. You walk to Julia's chamber. Like the servant said, hysterical laughters come from inside. You decide to enter. You see Julia at the balcony of her chamber, facing back you. She laughs under the pale moon. You approach her and put your hand on her shoulder. She turns back to you. Her face is normal, smiling and very creepy. Just when you were going to ask if she is okay, she responds, I know it looks funny, Father, but I am fine. Please leave me alone, she says. Just try to picture this as a horror game or a horror movie in your head because there's no visuals anyway. So she stops laughing, gets in her bed, and with a smile on her face. You decide to leave her alone. Go back to your chamber. You can't sleep. You feel something is wrong. So wrong. The door of your chamber opens. There is only one person who is allowed to enter without knocking on the king's door, so you understand that it's Julia who entered. Like you guessed, you see your own daughter's silhouette. She closes the door and approaches you with a smile on her face. This is getting creepy. She leans down to you gently. Gently puts the other pillow that you don't use. Oh boy. Julia is dead, she says, pushing the pillow on your face. Yep. You struggle, but whoever or whatever is trying to kill you is too strong. The king is dead. Long live the king, she shouts. Why is your own daughter committing patricide, regicide, and referring herself as king rather than queen? That doesn't make sense at all. This is the end of your reign and life. The end. There are 3 endings. And that is the end of story number 3. And when we come back, we'll do Evil Beneath the Ground. And then we'll have Crystal Skull 2, Madness in Infinite Loop, and Ouija. Anyways, that's going to conclude this episode of Interactive Horror Stories. Hope you guys had fun, and I'll see you next time.